The holiday season might be over, but there's still some magic in the air. So why don't we do some things?
Let's do some things! Game day, game day, game day, game day, game day, woo!
Dragon Warrior is a game for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Released in Japan in 1986 and the US 1989, this role-playing game serves as one of the grandfathers of the genre we know and love to this day. Although I am a bit worried about what's going on the front of the box. This warrior's fighting a dragon. It's a freaking dragon! Oh my god, a dragon!
Alright, let's put this into the Xbox in the retro do. I think it would work a little bit better that way.
We open up with a welcoming and triumphant sounding theme song with the title splayed for us to see. As with most games nowadays, we are given the options to start new adventures, continue previous ones, and change a few settings to our liking.
Seriously though, this dragon is really freaking cool.
We start out in Tantagil Castle. Being informed of how the princess is kidnapped, the castle is in shambles, the Dragon Lord is loose, cities have already been destroyed, the continent is doomed, and we are supposedly the descendant of a hero long since turned into storybook myth. Now tasked with picking up where the mythical hero named Erdrick left off, we begin our adventure. Dragon Warrior is set up in an open world style, so you can venture to anywhere in the game's land, you being limited only by what monsters you can and cannot defeat in surrounding areas. There are towns to visit as well. These safe spots have shops for upgrading your equipment, purchasing supplies, and resting your tired old wounds. You are also able to speak to the inhabitants of each settlement, which gives you helpful information on the main quest and side quests. Out in the world, you will encounter numerous kinds of monsters, ranging from small and kinda cute to titanic and hot damn, that's a big dragon. Also that thing. What is that? What even is that? What is that thing? Get good at thumping on the predatory creatures out in the wilds and you will find yourself reaching increments of power in the form of levels. As your level increases, so does your health, strength, and damage output. Of all the unique strengths to obtain, however, there is one that is a mulligan in this game: magic. Arcane knowledge that allows you to shoot fireballs, light up dungeons, teleport to the castle, and heal your injuries. Magic is easily the most versatile and useful ability you come across here. You will find that magic of healing is critical to your success, so embrace the healthy goodness. Your first time playing this, you will realize how invaluable some of those adventuring supplies are. Torches will keep you from getting helplessly lost in any level of a dungeon. Healing herbs will be chewed on more than gum in a school building. Keys will be shoved into more tight holes than a massive dick. Some of the best items in the game cannot be purchased, however. You can only find them in select spots of the game, making exploration a key figure in this game's play structure. The game brings fantastic elements into play incredibly well here. This world has its own rules and the like that are simply accepted by the inhabitants, such as sleep heals all. Magical artifacts are not as well known, and require some experimentation to figure out how to get them. The ways you go about obtaining, or even creating these key items is imaginative and unconventional, yet understandable and even makes some level of sense when looked at from an outside perspective, or more so, the perspective of the people in the world. For the record, the trek from the starting castle to the end boss is not a short one. You will encounter adversity, hostile terrain, initially impassable obstacles, and probably a death or two. Or more. Death is, fortunately, not permanent in this world, as the king always has your corpse found, brought back to the castle, and resurrected at the cost of half your total gold. This becomes far more dire the farther into the game you get, when finances become even more important than before. So let me ask you this. How often do you think it was back in 1986 to have an adventure that spanned a continent, had you armoring up and slaying dragons, creating magical artifacts, rescuing royalty, excavating rare and powerful weapons, and seeking to eliminate an all-powerful evil from the land, all on something as seemingly simple as one Nintendo cartridge? Probably not often, because this game was deemed to have helped pave the way for the role-playing genre for years to come. It has even won recognized awards because of its creativity, presentation, and sheer brilliance in gaming. I acknowledge that Dragon Warrior was not the only game of its kind back in its heyday. Other titles like Xanadu, Ultima, the Kingdom of Ys, and the Temple of Apshai come to mind because of similar elements. Credit where credit is due, I say. If you're lucky, you might still be able to find a copy that has extra documentation in it, such as a full map of the land, a bestiary, a leveling guide, and even the Explorer's Handbook. This whole game is so fleshed out, it's clear that much time and love went into its development. Except for the intro music. That only took 5 magical minutes. And that's Dragon Warrior.
So yeah, Dragon Warrior is a great game that set the stage for many great games for decades to come. You know, speaking of dragons and all that stuff, I think I have a movie somewhere that has dragons in it too. Let me take a look.
There it is. Yeah, Dragonheart. Sean Connery had a voice role in this film. I might have to rewatch it sometime.
Ooh, that was a heck of an adventure. Feeling kind of worn out. I think I need to recover. Alright, now that we're here in the kitchen, I'm going to show you how to make a healing potion.
Tasty and twisty, yeah!
Try to get yourself a pomegranate for this recipe. Take a citrus fruit for vitamins too. I chose an orange. I'm adding raspberries for this, but it's just an artistic decision. Local honey helps to smooth the drink out and add much nutrition. A couple handfuls of grapes, preferably of a darker color, add color and flavor. I got this glass bottle at Michael's for $1. The food processor will be your friend yet again. Cut the pomegranate's end parts off with a sharp knife. Be careful with the knife, by the way. After the ends are cut, cut the whole pomegranate in half. Carefully pull the seeds out using the knife or a spoon and let them collect into the food processor. This step might take a few minutes. Take the orange and cut it similarly. Peel the skin off and pull the insides into as many slices as you would like to use. Wash the raspberries and add roughly half of the package. Spoon out the honey and add it to the mix. Close the lid on the food processor and safely process them foods. Wash your grapes if you choose to add them as well before adding them as well. You might need to add water for consistency. Process it all again, but please try to not make a mess like I did. Grab a cup or aesthetic glass bottle of sorts, a proper sized funnel, and a fine strainer. Place the funnel neck down into the container of choice, and then fit the strainer down into the funnel. This will allow the juices to make their way into the bottle without having any chunks follow suit. Pour the contents of the food processor into the strainer-rid funnel, not too slow, not too fast. You will most likely need to stir the contents around the funnel with a spoon or the like to help the fluids escape. Once it's all filled up, it should look like a lovely, healthy red healing potion. Give some to your possibly ailing from a stomachache or something similar significant other so they can feel better knowing that their health points is going to go up. If you aren't feeling like full health points either, then enjoy your fruity beverage. Great for fandoms and parties.
Oh wow, it's actually really good. You're right, it is like almost like something you'd get at like a water ice place. I really taste the raspberry. This is good.
I'm gonna tell you a story. Memory lane. For a long time now, I have seen things that other people don't see. They are not in a physical sense. At least I don't think that they're in a physical sense, because they don't seem to be able to be contacted. And they always appear around people. I like to call them fae. They're these little speckles of light. Now, someone with a degree in some psychology or something like that would probably look at that and be like, oh, that could be a sign of some mental disorder, or like schizophrenia maybe, or something like that. And while sure, I won't knock it, but I don't believe that's the case. I think instead, what I might be seeing, again, because of the fact that it only ever shows up around people, is some sort of energy. Something like that. When I was younger, I saw them in school. I would see them out on the playground. I would see them in the classroom. And sometimes I'd be looking at one of them, and it would go away. But because my attention would be diverted, I'd be called out. They'd be like, Luke, are you paying attention? I mean, technically the answer is no, but it still kind of was, just not 100% because I was seeing something else. I like to think that it's because of things like that something bigger must be at play here. And I'm pretty sure that I'm not the only one who sees things outside of a physical perspective. But I guess until I get more proof on the matter, I might just have to keep doing what I'm doing, I guess. Something like that. So, okay, well, the day is starting to draw to a close. I'm gonna head back.
And now, life with Angel Bean.
Peter! Peter! What? Andrew? Peter! Up here! Huh? I'm up here! What? Look up! What? Peter! Angel? How did you get up there? I managed to float up here. I don't know how. Send help.
This has been Life with Angel Bean.
So on the way back, I started thinking, does real magic really exist? I kind of want to say it does, because a lot of the stuff that happens all around us is sometimes barely explainable. Don't get me wrong, there's plenty that can be explained, and oftentimes stuff that will be explained that simply hasn't been properly cataloged yet, usually by the means of the sciences, mathematics, physics, and the like. But there has to be far more than that. I think of things like our own lives, like the energy that runs us. I think of things like how do spirits work? How does you see people like performing completely magical feats, that are unconventional. What's his name? Chris Angel. Chris Angel, he pulled his mom out of a suitcase. Okay, and that sounds like definitely more than just an illusion, some sort of, smoke and mirrors. That definitely seems more than that. Or his bizarre thing where he walked up a wall using only a cane. Unless that kind of thing can be legitimately, physically explained, then there's got to be something more to it. Real magic. Something that is not explained to us yet. Something that we haven't completely wrapped our heads around. So, what do you think? You think real magic still exists? upside down. Summer, 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 it's like a merry-go-round. I see you under the midnight, all shackles and bows. The high shoes with the cleats up again, a temperamental glow. Oh, don't you let me go. I gotta hold on you. I gotta hold on you. Gotta hold on you tonight. I gotta hold on you. I gotta hold on you. I gotta hold on you. Yeah, that's right. Oh, it's magic when I'm with you. Oh, it's magic, just a little magic. You know it's true. I gotta hold on you. Oh, twisted on the sideways down. You know you're getting twisted, and you can't calm down. I see you under the midnight, love darts in your eyes. How far can you take it till you realize there's magic in your eyes? I gotta hold on you. I gotta hold on you. Gotta hold on you tonight. I gotta hold on you. I gotta hold on you. I gotta hold on you. Yeah. Oh, right. Oh, it's magic when I'm with you. Oh, it's magic. Oh, it's magic. Just a little magic pulls me through. I gotta hold on you. All right. I gotta hold on you. I gotta hold on you. I gotta hold on you. Yeah, it's magic. Oh, it's magic when I'm with you. Oh, it's magic. Oh, it's magic. Just a little bit of magic inside of you. Oh, it's magic. Oh, it's magic when I'm with you. Oh, it's magic. Oh, it's magic. Just a little bit of magic pulls me through. Oh, it's magic. Oh, it's magic.
Alright. Well, what a fun and magic-filled day we had. I want to thank you for being here with me today, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time, take care.